What's up? How's it going? How's it going, folks? First of all, let me know what the sound's like. Can you hear me well? Can you hear me well? The sound okay? Sir, okay, sounds good. All right, okay. So, guys, the topic is up to you. Okay, I talk about whatever the fuck you want me to talk about. Ask your questions. I'm here to, um, I'm here to solve your problems, if you will, in whatever way I can. So, before we do that, okay, just post any questions that you have. Okay, I'll try to give you a good answer. Try to enlighten you. On top of that, guys, you know that at the end of this year, I'm going to stop teaching magic completely. So if you want readings, get them now. Okay, if you want to have a reading, the price has been lowered of the readings. Okay, so that everybody can take advantage of them. If you want readings, get them now. If you want pacts, get them now. If you want servitors, get them now. If you want Reiki attunements, get them now. Get them now, because very soon it's no longer going to be possible, because I'm going to stop teaching magic, and I'm going to provide I'm going to stop providing any of those services, right? So, well, how much time do we have with Magic Mentor? It's going to be around the end of November. Okay, so make sure that you get any of those services now, okay, or as soon as you can, all right, because it's not going to be available anymore, all right. So if you ever uh, readings, how do we set that up? Message me on Facebook, reach out to me there, or Instagram or something like that. Message me personally, we can schedule that. Like I said, readings, if you want readings, if you want servitors, if you want pacts, if you want Reiki attunements, get them now. Get them now, okay? Because outside of that, or very soon, they're no longer going to be available. All right. Just a reminder. Um, I don't want to leave anyone hanging who would want to take advantage of that stuff, as long as it's available. All right. So let's start with your questions, guys. What are you talking about? I mean, what do you want me to talk about? What's going through your mind? What are the challenges that you're facing right now? Let me help you. Let me solve that. I'm going to give you a little bit here. Just became really bad. All right. Any tips for auto suggestion? Probably one of the most important topics out there. Okay. So, one of the most important topics, auto suggestion. Auto suggestion is the ability to influence your own subconscious, right? Why is that so important? Why is that so important? Because that's literally having the control over your life. what you experience externally as a result, as the physical manifestation of your life, is determined by the energies that you resonate with. So when you master autosuggestion, you can master your emotional states and the energies that you resonate with, and sooner or later that's going to be reflected in the external world as a physical reality. So what you need to do to have control over the direction of your life and your destiny is you have to have a good rapport. Rapport means communication and mutual understanding between your subconscious mind and your conscious mind, right? So how to improve autosuggestion, or how to get really good at that. It is essentially paying attention to what's going on inside you at any point in time. Awareness builds the connection. So when you move into a new place, what does it make you feel inside of you? How do the internal images change? You see what I mean? Build a connection with your internal world. And then use, let's say, self-talk, use music, use whatever you can to get yourself into the right energy. And it is not okay to let your mind run on autopilot, meaning to just let it do whatever the fuck it wants. Because the problem is, on average, or rather, usually the default state of the mind is negativity. So it's going to drag you down. It's going to take you deeper and deeper and deeper into negative things. It's going to create a negative loop. That's not okay. And I tell you why it is set up to be negative, because it's lower energy. It saves energy by staying in a lower mental or lower emotional state. High emotional states, the things that we usually want, they require energy and effort to maintain. You see what I mean? High energy requires energy that's upbeat, that's like in touch with anything powerful, anything constructive, anything good requires energy to maintain and effort. Anything negative, you don't have to put any energy into it. Okay, so just the average person, if they just let their subconscious mind run, it's going to give them negative stuff, which is not good. We don't want that. You're programming the programming of a subconscious mind, and we have to know that the mind is a creature of habit. So it always goes to what it knows, essentially, and what it is used to. You will never outgrow your own opinion of yourself. Very important to understand that. So your self-image. That is the result of your programming in the first 7 years of your life. You can't do anything about that, but what you can do is, or you can't do anything about the first 7 years of your life, but you can now take charge of the programming and change it around and move it into the direction that you want it to be. So it's literally just paying attention more and taking time out in your day multiple times, 3 to 4, 5 times. It doesn't matter. Maybe every 2 hours. You have maybe I don't know, how many waking hours do you have? Let's say you have 16 waking hours, probably longer, right? 4 times you should sit down with yourself, quiet, and work with your inner world using self-talk, using visualization, using whatever, to get yourself into the desired emotional state that you want. Okay. And ideally, I think everybody who could choose, unless they're really weird, they're going to choose power, they're going to choose success, they're going to choose feeling good, gratitude, all of these things that we want reflected in the outside world, right? Yo, bro, do you think we can learn more about securing a safe and stable method to making a lot of wealth, or by our own experience within black magic? I don't think black magic is a good way to make money, actually. I don't really think it is a good way, because black magic, by definition, is essentially working with destructive energies. Okay, it's what you have to do if you want to use spiritual knowledge for wealth. You first of all have to understand the mundane stuff. Okay, you have to understand the mundane stuff. You have to actually understand the topic. Here's the thing, man. I study billionaires. Okay, I do study billionaires. Why? Why do I do that? Well, I got my reasons for that, right? But I do study billionaires, and when you listen to interviews from billionaires or read their books, these guys always talk about historical contexts. Okay, they talk about historical contexts. They talk about the very fundamentals of the topic. What is the economy? They don't talk about, oh, here's how you balance your budget. Here's how you fix your expenses. This is you invest in real estate. No, they don't talk about that. They talk about the fundamentals of the economy. You know, the fundamentals of the economy and what money is. They describe it in terms of energy and frequency, and so your level of thinking about a subject determines to what extent you control it. Here's one thing, one axiom, one learning that you can take away from this live stream. Whatever you fully understand is not able to affect you in any negative way. Whatever you fully understand, you control. And whatever you control, you can generate, you can stop it, and you can keep it running in however way you want. Okay. Now, I'm sure we agree on the fact that billionaires must know something about money to be able to make that much, right? So the thing is, what you have to understand is that you will never be able to make a lot of money unless you really, really understand the subject deeply, in depth. Same thing with everything else. There's nobody with an exceptionally muscular body, extremely buff, low body fat, all of that, without really understanding the body well. Okay, without understanding diet, without understanding all of those things. You have to understand, you have to have a solid understanding. And the level of your understanding of a subject determines your power over it, your success in it. So you should this is a big mistake. This this black magic for money and all this shit. This is like a this is a it's a dead end, you know? It's not what makes you money. You need to understand the topic. And most people don't do understand the topic, therefore it never works. Um, so you have to first of all understand the topic, very mundane. Okay. And on top of that, on top of that, you can use metaphysical knowledge. You can use your control of energy. You can use all of that as leverage to increase the amount of money that you're making. Yeah. But you have to first understand the topic. Okay. So the most important thing about that topic, the most important thing is the connection between energy and physical matter, right? Not because money is physical, but we're talking about creating effects here. If you want to create an inflow, you have to create an outflow first. The universe is built on energy dynamics, okay? And it is inflow equals outflow. So whatever you want to have come flowing in, you first have to put out energy in the equal amount. Does that make sense? Inflow equals outflow. Very, very, very forgotten understanding. Important learning for you. If you want, listen, money is a symbol for a value exchange. Do you understand? Money is a symbol for a value exchange. You go to the store, you give the cashier money, and whatever you were pumping gas, right? You were pumping gas. Let's say you pay cash. The value is you now got gasoline in your car, and you give money as an exchange. The value that was exchanged is essentially, it's not even the gasoline. It's your ability to keep your fucking car running. You understand? So the problem is people mistake money for a thing. It's not a thing. Money is a symbol for an energy exchange. One of the laws of energy, we talked about some of them yesterday. A new one that we're going to talk about today, a new learning is outflow equals inflow in this universe. Inflow equals outflow, outflow equals inflow. In order to generate inflow, you must first create outflow. All right. Now, There are also different laws when it comes to the when it comes to how to generate the best type of outflow in order to increase the inflow. But this is the most fundamental thing. You first have to create outflow in order to create inflow. You have to put value out there, and automatically, as a byproduct, my friend, as a byproduct, money is going to come back. That is a byproduct. Now, here's the thing. Most people misunderstand how to do that, because a lot of people are just like, man, I follow my passions all the time. I create outflow all the time. I like to, let's say, sing. I like to do this. I like to do that. Value, you got to put out value. You can't just put out energy. You see what I mean? There is an energy component to value, but value is also defined as scarce and in demand. Okay, scarce and in demand. All right. So when you put out energy, when you put out in when you create outflow, it has to be something that is scarce and in demand, and then you're guaranteed to attract money with it. You see, most people don't do that. Most people don't do that, and you will be paid in direct proportion to what extent you follow those laws. It's a science. It is not chance. It is not random. There is laws in this universe. You understand? So in direct proportion to what you're putting out in terms of value, you're going to receive money back, because it's an energy exchange. You understand? Now, and you also have to understand that you're literally dealing with the universe. It's an energetic universe. So sometimes there's nothing wrong with putting out value to somebody who can't pay you right away. Sometimes it's okay to just put out that value and not expect anything back right away. That's okay. That's okay, because you're dealing with the universe. You're not a closed system. Everything is interconnected, you see. So you might help one person with something, you give them something valuable from somewhere completely different, from somewhere completely else. It's going to come back to you in the form of inflow. Yeah. But it is guaranteed that outflow creates inflow. Outflow creates inflow. Okay. Write that down, take notes. Outflow creates inflow. So what do you have to do? You have to generate something, or that's for your goal to increase money coming in. You have to find a vessel to increase your outflow, and you got to outflow value. Once you do that, you will never have scarcity when it comes to money again. Okay. Now, what are some laws when it comes to the outflow and how to improve the outflow? For instance, there's a 3-to-1 law for whatever reason. There's a 3-to-1 law. For every 3 times there is outflow, there will be 1 inflow. So it's almost as if you have to put out 3 times more outflow in order to create 1 unit of inflow. Does that make sense? So it is proportional, 3-to-1. Inflow is 1, outflow is 3. Okay? So if we could measure everything in terms of like calories or energy units, you put out 3 times more energy, and then what's going to flow in again. Okay, you can observe that in terms of, let's say, your marketing efforts. In order to have 1 inflow, you're going to have to market through 3 different social media channels, for instance, or marketing channels. That would be Facebook, Instagram, and email marketing, for instance. You need at least 3 in order to create inflow. Email marketing alone, in my experience, does not work. Instagram alone does not work. None of those alone work. Even 2 of them, even if you got Instagram and Facebook, those are not going to work as well. But if you add a 3rd one, let's say email marketing, to it, you're going to create inflow. Yeah, this is one of the laws. And there are many more, but the bottom line is, understand that the value that you put out is essentially going to be generating the inflow, you know? And That is way more effective and smarter than trying to call up a demon to bring you $200, $300. First of all, how is the spirit going to bring you that anyways if you don't have the channels open to make that happen? You see, you got to make it easy for the spirits too. Besides that, I'm going to stop talking about magic, right? If you want, no, let's not talk about that. How important is embracing or feeling gratitude in life? How can this help with magic and evolution? Once again, it's inflow equals outflow. You see what I mean? If you feel gratitude, the universe is going to give you more for what you can for what you can be grateful for. It's that simple. It's really that simple. If you feel grateful for something, the universe is going to give you more what you can be grateful for. That's the value of it. What should be on an altar for your ancestors? What offerings should be given? Just incense, fruits, fruit, incense. If you know what that ancestor actually liked, let's say maybe they liked whiskey, a glass of whiskey would be great. You know. How do you even go about controlling your subconscious, especially if you've had deep traumas that influence you? That's why we do shadow work. You have to look at those traumas and you have to release them. Traumas are energy blocks. There are many different things that you could use. You can use EFT, okay, emotional freedom techniques. That's a way to do it. Meditation itself. You can use yoga. You can use so many different tools. There's so many different tools that you can use to release the energy blocks. Traumas are literally just energy blocks, and you can release them. But it's uncomfortable work. Therefore, most people will not do it. However, listen, I do shadow work on a daily basis. Daily. I've been doing this for so many years, and I still got stuff coming up. Still got stuff coming up from like when I was 5 years old. And it's also that life itself, just the living process, will accumulate trauma. So it's just what it is. It's just what it is. Life is tough. People are going to betray you. People are going to do this and that and the other, and that accumulates trauma. So all you got to do is just on a regular basis, you got to do the work. That's what we call shadow work. You get rid of the energy blocks within you. Okay, EFT. Google that if you don't know what that is. Emotional freedom technique. Um, yeah, yoga is good for that. Meditation is good for that, and that's it. It's really not that hard, actually. It's just uncomfortable. Just like most things in life are not hard, they're just uncomfortable. Really. I'm seriously. You know what's hard? You know what is hard? Hard is what's hard? What's hard, man? Hard is I listened to an interview by Michael Saylor yesterday, and the company that he built with the software that he created, and that's hard. That's some high level math stuff, really complicated. That's hard. But most of the things that we have to do in order to get what we want are not hard, they're just uncomfortable. And if you have the ability to stay in discomfort until what you wanted is there, then you're good. And yeah, that's true. Learn to deal with discomfort and be comfortable with discomfort. And I think, I don't believe that we feel good if we're not uncomfortable, at least a couple times throughout the day. You'll feel much better at the end of the day. You know, EFT is real dope. I use it almost every day. It's great. And it's a very simple tool and it's super effective, right? I've heard that people use EFT for manifestation as well. I mean, they assume that the only reason why what you want doesn't happen is because you got energy blocks in regards to that. Which I mean, there's some truth to that, I'm sure. So what they do is they just keeps talking about the goal that they have, And as they keep tapping, the subconscious blocks are going to show up, and they tap until no subconscious blocks are there anymore. I do it differently, but it's definitely worth trying out. Okay. So if you want to manifest something, talk about the goal to yourself. It's like an affirmation. I have whatever. I have I have the perfect girlfriend by the end of this year. I have the perfect girlfriend by the end of this year. I have the perfect girlfriend by the end of this year. And you keep tapping, 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 and you're going to have the blocks coming up. And if you do that on a daily basis for a couple of minutes, 5, 10 minutes, you're probably going to end up having that person as a partner. And I'm sure that applies to everything else. It's definitely worth trying. Why not? Try it out. Um, hey, Frank. First, I wanted to thank you for the valuable information you provide me and made me a better man. That's great to hear, man. You're welcome. I want to ask, how can I know if a person is stealing energy from me and how to take it back? When you can't stop thinking about the person, they're usually also not thinking about you as that happens. If, you have to know that most energy stealing is not a conscious decision. Happens automatically. Happens almost automatically. So a lot of people that steal your energy are not aware of it. Even if you're just listen, if you're in a high energy state, if you have a lot of energy and the person that you're dealing with, let's say it's a simple communication, could be a cashier, could be anyone, complete stranger. You have a small and quick communication with them or interaction, some of your energy is going to be stolen and zapped into the person. So a lot of times it's very hard to control. Now there are things that you can use to get that energy back, but I'm not going to talk about that here. I can't talk about that here, or I don't want to talk about that here. Hello, Frank. Good to see you. Working hard and dropping knowledge. Always, my friend. Always. How do you stop self-sabotaging or stop letting things distract you from your goals? You got to take charge of your subconscious. You cannot let it run on autopilot. Like I said earlier, multiple times a day. You go into your mind and bring it back onto the frequency that you want. When we say frequency, we mean the emotional state that correlates or connects you to what it is that you actually want. Everything starts with that. The right thoughts are the result of the right emotions, and the right actions are the result of the right thoughts. But it starts with the energy. Emotions are energy in motion. So you got to fix the energy. From that, the emotions will be fixed. From that, the thoughts, and then the actions. And you got to control that. You got to take charge of that. Otherwise, it goes into autopilot. Remember, you are built to conserve energy. You're built to conserve energy. That's natural. That's why it's the default state is staying in your comfort zone. How do you stop self-sabotaging? Does that apply to manifesting a goal? For example, do you need to send 3 times as much energy needed to manifest the goal? Well, that would be the logical consequence. However, it is very hard to measure. Like when it comes to something like marketing, it's very easy to figure out like laws like that. But when you're putting out calories and energies in terms of emotions towards a goal, there's very little ways to measure that. You see what I mean? So that's not something that I can guarantee you is true. It makes sense. It's a logical consequence built on what I said earlier. But how do you measure that? You see what I mean? There's really no objective way to measure that. First of all, how do you put a number on how much energy it costs to manifest something? And then how do you measure how much energy you put out there in ritual in order to make it happen? You see, it's literally impossible to measure that with current technology, with current measurements or instruments. It's impossible. I'm studying astral projection and witchcraft, and I was wondering if meeting a spirit like Aratron on the astral, asking him to help teach me magic would be worth it. I'm not talking about magic. How many times do I have to say that? How many times do I have to repeat that shit? Listen, guys, I'm not teaching magic anymore. Okay, I'm a life coach now. I'm teaching you about life, Not talking about magic. Okay? Stop asking me questions of astral travels, evocations, this spirit, that spirit. I'm not talking about that shit anymore. Okay? Um, I've noticed people hating on billionaires more and more. Jeff Bezos, Elon. In your opinion, are these haters doomed to fail in their own lives? I mean, what successful person has time to hate on another, on a successful individual? It's, um, I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously, hate always comes from a position of weakness. Frank, might you have any techniques for really tapping immensely into one's creativity for artistic purposes? It's not necessarily a technique. Um, how do I put it, man? Okay, how do you tap into your own creative energy? Um, how do you tap into your own creative energy? I can tell you how I do it. How I do it. For me, my mental activity, and with that, my emotions are tools. And I have the ability to control what my mind does on demand. And if I want to be creative, I just sit down for a couple of minutes, I focus on what it is that I want, and then my mind is creative. Um, there are techniques that you can use to do that. It's very, very easy, actually. It's very simple. Something called Psyche, for instance. Psyche. Um, I mean, at the end of the day, it's basically just cross your ankles. Okay, your ankles cross, and then you do this with your hands. Boom. All right, and then you keep repeating a certain affirmation. You always go for the end result of what it is that you want, and as you do that, your brain activity is going to change. You know that certain patterns of activity in your brain correlate with different states of mind, emotions, and activities. Okay. So when you can focus on what it is that you want, the end result, your brain activity is going to start matching that, and then it's already real for you internally. Now all that you have to do is put it out externally. That's a life-changing technique, and that you can live your entire life like that and always kill it. I promise you. If you use this technique that I just gave you before anything that you have to do, any performance, any type of work, any type of interview, whatever, I mean, job interview or something like that, you're mostly going to have what it is that you want. Exactly that. I think what you guys need is the manual for how to use your mind, how to control it. A manual on how to control your mind. That's what's needed. Yeah. A compendium of techniques on how to control your mind. I think that's what a lot of people would like to see. So if I can't stop thinking about someone, it means that they are not thinking about me. Then what happens if they are obsessively thinking about me? You will stop thinking about them. Energy flows, generally speaking, only flows one way. You know, how would you deal with this? You're a left-hand path sorcerer who meets a chick and falls in love. Her whole life, she has dreamed of a big white wedding with a whole church ceremony. What would you do? I'm not going to answer that question, but I will say this: I don't give a fuck about labels. Okay, I really don't care. What I mean, I'm a left-hand path sorcerer. What does that mean? Do I have to wear leather now so that people know that I'm a left-hand path sorcerer? All of this shit is like I don't know. It's like it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Doesn't mean anything. I'm a left-hand path sorcerer. Listen, this is all some tribal bullshit. Tribal bullshit where I belong to this group, I belong to that group. Listen, I've been in this occult game for a while. All of those people reached out to me. Frank, why don't you come here? Frank, why don't we do this together? Frank, why do we don't we do this together? I'm like, no, I don't want to, because you're all fucking dorks, weirdos, man, weirdos, fucking weirdos, freaks. I don't want to deal with those people. I deal with actual powerful individuals. Most of those people that you would find on YouTube calling themselves like powerful magicians have problems paying their fucking rent. They're fucking drug addicts. They're fucking weirdos. They put up a persona online, and in reality, they're just tiny. They're tiny midgets that can't even deal with life. They want to teach you about magic and witchcraft and how to master the spiritual secrets when they in reality can't even deal with their own mind and life. See? Fucking addicts, fucking weirdos, fucking criminals, fucking perverts. That's what the majority of those people are. That's why I never wanted to be associated with them. Never. Freaks, and time will always tell. Time will always tell who's real and who's not. So I don't consider myself a left-hand path sorcerer, because that means I'm part of some weirdo tribe. Nothing to do with those guys. You see, they live in a fucking real World of Warcraft game. Yeah, fucking losers. Most of these guys couldn't get laid if their life depended on it. Okay, losers, pussies, disgusting, disgusting losers. Most of those guys, they couldn't fight. They couldn't protect their life. They couldn't protect their own body if their life depended on it. Weirdos, weaklings. And don't even get me started on the women in this scene. Okay, don't even get me started on that. Ugh. It's disgusting, man. So I never wanted to be associated with that, and I never will be. I'm out this game. All right. So please stop asking me questions about left-hand path, sorcery. I don't give a fuck about that. Okay, I really don't give a fuck about that. That's Frank. Do you think it's a bad idea to date someone at your workplace? I've never done that, so can't tell you. But I will tell you this. This is also the reason why I never start a business with a female that I'm involved with romantically. First of all, generally speaking, it is my personal experience that females are less reliable than guys in a business context. That's my personal experience. I don't know if it's true or not, but my personal experience has shown that again and again and again. Whenever I tried to have a girlfriend involved in my businesses, she became the biggest freaking liability in the business, because she couldn't deliver on time. Because, listen, a business is not a fucking circus. It's not a fucking. It's not about cuddling. It's not about being happy. A business is a business. It's fucking. You're in competition with other people, with other businesses. So there's a certain tone in a business, okay? And it is my experience that they're a little bit too sensitive. When you tell them this is shit, do it differently, do it better, do this, that, and the other, they get really, really emotional about it. Like, how could you say that? Why do you have to say it like that? Because it is shit. It's not going to work like that, okay? Do it differently. And then it's just my personal experience that they never deliver what you told them to deliver. And and especially if it's your girlfriend, especially if it's your girlfriend, or she thinks because she's romantically involved with you, first of all, she owns everything that you own. That's naturally she starts thinking that, like, it's my business too, even though you built it. And number two, friends in business don't mix. Lovers in business mix even less. Okay, so her let's say you have an argument romantically. How do you think it's going to have an effect on her performance? I would never date a woman that I'm involved with when it comes to business, and I would also never get involved in business with a woman that I'm romantically involved with. I would never do that because it only causes problems. Plus, bro, you're a guy. You can only lose in this equation. You know that everything that we're dealing with in the society is pretty much set up to protect women and to make us look bad. So she could just make up things. She could just make up things about you and get you fired. What if in a year or so you do something and she's really pissed at you, and for whatever reason she has the idea of destroying your name? She could just say something. She could just say something that is not untrue, such as he hit me, he did this, he did that, and your reputation is done. Your reputation is done, and you're going to be fired. And she's going to keep working at the same job. She's probably going to get promoted. Such a brave young lady, right? So if you do that, in my opinion, you're a fool. Absolutely. In this day and age, you got to fully protect yourself. Legal, you got to cover your ass legally. Listen, I got a file on every single woman that I'm involved with. Okay, and I can say that because no woman that watches this is romantically involved with me. I got a file on every single woman that I'm with. And that's what you have to do these days. It is what it is. It's sad, but it's the truth. I got a file on all of those. Every single communication that's digital is filed away. Um, Before I get romantically involved with them, I get them to explicitly say these things like, "Yes, I want to do this," and blah blah blah. Look, we live in a day and age where you got to do that. You got to cover your ass, especially if you got assets. You got to be super careful. Got to be careful, man. Got to cover yourself. You know, don't think with your dick. Okay, you got to think with your head. Then I guess it's wise to view women as the enemy, especially in the workplace, and be cautious, like you said. Listen, bro. Women are not the enemy. Women are pawns of the enemies. We live in a society that has clearly declared, a systematic war on masculinity. That is absolutely a fact. So women are pawns in that game. Women are very easily manipulated because they're much more emotional. So movies and propaganda is used to instill a certain mindset in women these days. And that is then it's pretty much automatic. There's a programming in females, and that ruins relationships, that makes them hate men, see us as toxic, see us as destructive, even though I don't know. The point is the result of that is that you know a lot of problems are caused by that. You get what I mean? It's not that women are the enemy. Women are not the enemy. Women are pawns unknowingly. Just like men are pawns. It's just that very few people can see through that game. Very few people are aware that the media and the movies are actually created and then produced with a certain agenda. There's always programming going on. And when you see movies these days, you're absolutely it's like how can you not see that? How can you not see that this is anti-male feminist propaganda that's all over the fucking place? Now, what do you think that's gonna what the effect of that's gonna be? That is gonna make women unconsciously start hating men and take actions accordingly. When listen, I mean, just look around. Just look around and just listen to how they talk about men, you know? So I'm a strategic genius, okay? I've been studying strategic warfare for a very long time. And you have to understand what position you're in. The Western world is at war with men, and women are pawns that are used against us. So you have to protect your ass. You have to cover yourself. You got to be smart. You know, there's absolutely no reason to get married. Zero. If you get married, you might as well just give her everything. There's zero reason to get married. Zero. not in this society. Now, the reason for all of that is a population decline, or rather, the agenda is to depopulate the planet. You see what I mean? That's the real agenda behind that, because it's also cool for women to not have children and to stay single until they're very old, and then shit like that. You know what I mean? So, and you do that by manipulating women's ego, and you catapult it into the stratosphere so that they think there's no guy out there that is worth their attention, no guy out there worth their love or their body. You see what I mean? And then they stay single until they're 40, and they're out of their and they don't have the ability to bear children anymore. That's also a way to decrease the population. You have to understand that the real agenda is a population decrease of, I think, 70% or something like that. And they're succeeding, except for, like, they're succeeding throughout the world. I think the only regions in the world that are growing in population are Africa and the Middle East. And the reason for that is Islam. It's the religion of Islam that is making those populations still grow. You see? That's the only reason why. The rest is actually declining. You see what I mean? The rest of the populations are all declining. Europe is going to die out. I'm telling you. Europe, there will be no more ethnic Germans at the end of the century. And the same with England. The same with France. The same with pretty much all Western countries. Sweden. You know. And it's their own faults. It's their own faults because they have let corrupt governments with sick people run an agenda that is aimed at population control. Okay, so they want to decrease the populations. How do you do that? You destroy the family. You introduce feminism, so you make women hate men, and you use this game. You use pawns to control men. It's actually rather simple, isn't it? You know, so that's what's going on. So, my friend, you got to be smart. You got to be smarter than that. Don't think with your dick. Don't think with your dick. If you fight a war and you're not aware that you are at war, what chances do you have of surviving and winning the war? Literally zero, right? If you're playing a game, you don't understand the rules of the game. You don't even know that you're playing a game. You're done, right? I mean, what does it look like? Let's say you step into the ring and you're expecting tango or something like that, some dancing, you know? And then all of a sudden the guy starts punching you in the mouth and kicking you in the head. It's like, wow, this is an MMA match. Fuck. It's UFC. I thought we were dancing. You see? This is how most people literally live their lives. They don't understand what's going on. They're literally just sleepwalking through fucking life. I gotta pay the bills. I got this job. Oh man, I gotta pay the. Hopefully she likes me. Hopefully Susie likes me. Listen, Susie is programmed. The average woman out there is programmed to detest you, to detest men. The more masculine you are, the more they will hate you. Trust me, they will. It is what it is. So you've got to be careful. All right. This is not a conspiracy theory. You can say whatever you want. I don't care. But this is absolute. Like, everyone with a fucking brain can see that, right? Da, 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 da. Is it possible to join the Grail of the Serpent, Grail of the Serpent Circle, the inner circle? Yes, still possible. Frank, what was the hardest two things you went through when you became your own boss? Did people treat you different when you became your own boss? The two hardest things. It's listen. This is an ability that is inherent within us. It's essentially it's something that has to. You can call it self-reliance. Okay, self-reliance. It's an ability that has to be developed. It's um it's like a muscle that has to be trained. Self-reliance. Self-reliance. Most people are not self-reliant. It's Most people from the very beginning of their life are trained to rely on an outside authority to tell them what to do next. When you're in a school, you got to ask to go to pee, aren't you? They tell you when to sit, they tell you when to stand, they tell you when to speak, when to shut up, they tell you what to read, when to read it, what to think about what you learn. If you have an interpretation that is against what the teacher tells you is right, you get bad grades. So most people are literally programmed robots. Most people are in no way, shape, or form self-reliant. And after they go to school, they then get a job. So they rely on somebody else to generate the system, and they work inside of the system. And they are told when to show up. Once again, they got to ask if they want to take a bathroom break. They can't say what they want when they're at work. And they're like literally their entire lives. Most people are completely controlled by outside forces. And then when they come home, they got a TV program. You see what I mean? Program. There's a reason why TV programs are called programs, right? It's a program. It's programming you. So most people have never had an original thought or self-directed intentions in their entire lives. So if you want to be your own boss and actually be successful, you have to develop an extraordinary because uncommon ability to direct your own mind and to make your own decisions and to trust your own decision. You're completely self-reliant. If you go broke, you go broke. If you go bankrupt, you go bankrupt. No one's gonna give you a raise. No one's gonna give you an advance. No one. You are literally on your own. And this is something that has to be developed, and it's terrifying. It's stressful. You'll have sleepless nights. You'll listen for years and years and years. I almost worked myself to death. Absolutely, you know. But it's worth it. And I did it before. I did it as long as I could. If I had waited till like 40 to start that shit, pretty much impossible. I'm telling you, because you don't have the energy. Let's say you have a full-time job, you're 40 years old, you have a full-time job. First of all, your body is going to get tired, okay? You have less energy. And then after 8 hours of fucking dealing with some bullshit, you come home, you at 40 you probably most people have a family and a mortgage at 40. See? So you got that shit, then you have a mortgage, then you probably have a nagging ass wife who's never happy. And then you think you can still build a business, a successful business. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Pretty much impossible, you know? I'm happy that I started doing this right out of university. I started building a business. I started with affiliate marketing, and I was in my early 20s. And it pretty much took me 10 years of hard work to attain financial freedom. And when I say hard work, I'm talking about 3 days without sleep work. The amount of stuff that I had to learn, god damn it. And I could have never done that if I had been married, if I had all these obligations. I worked jobs to make the bare minimum, to feed myself, to survive, and to practice magic and whatever else. And then I would work on businesses. I would learn about businesses, all of that. Most people underestimate how long. I know you see the dream out there all the time, Instagram and blah blah blah, right? But the timeline that they show you is completely unrealistic. It takes years and years and years. It's like a machine that needs to be built up over time. How much energy do you think is inside of a business that actually feeds you? And like you need multiple income streams too. How much energy do you think is in a system like that? It's a whole lot of energy. Plus you have to know so many different things. You have to develop so many different psychological qualities. So all of that stuff is hard, and you need energy for that. Listen, I'm pretty sure I did some permanent damage to my body during those years. Absolutely convinced about it. But it was worth it for me because I wanted the freedom. And thankfully, I started early. It's because I hated every minute of being employed by somebody else. I hated every second of having to deal with colleagues that I just fucking hated. I couldn't stand them, but I had to be there. You know, all this You get what I mean, all right? So I was never cut out for this other stuff. So no, that's why that's why I started doing that. That was the only way out for me. So, like I'm saying, like I said, you have to develop certain psychological traits, and you have to have the energy to make it happen because it will cost you everything. It will cost you everything that you got, everything in terms of energy, in terms of stress tolerance. You're you're not going to sleep for days. You know, it's a lot that you go through, and then you don't even have a 100% chance of it working. Now, I know this sounds like a terrifying story, but those of you who are adventurers, you should probably do it. Don't let what I'm telling you here discourage you because obviously it worked out for me and it's worked out for others too. But do you know the statistics? I don't know if you know the statistics. The statistics are that 99% of all businesses fail. 99 of all businesses. It's also that 85% of all businesses never make a million in revenue. So all the stuff that you see on social media, on Instagram, they're like the absolute outliers. Most business owners never see a million in a year. So in order to have a seven-figure business, you really got to be extraordinary, an extraordinary businessman. You see, and the businesses that make like 10 million a year, that's like 0.4% of all businesses. Okay, so a lot of people have a skewed vision, skewed understanding of how business works. They think they buy a laptop, build a website, and the money's going to come flowing in, right? It's not that easy. Not that easy. It's really not that easy. It's a lot of hard work. It is what it is. Hopefully, maybe you got a rich daddy or something like that. They can just buy you a business or something like that. But Frank, there are good women still out there. Yeah, absolutely, there are good women out there. 100%. What's the purpose of depopulation? It makes you can easier control 1 billion people versus 8 billion people. That's what it is about. It's all about control. They're control freaks, and they consider us useless eaters, or most people they consider them useless eaters. And it's all about resources too. You know, there's the idea that there are not enough resources for soon 10 billion people. So you got to reduce the population to about half a billion. They're easier to control and they eat less. You see. Okay. Um, Frank is on a roll. Truth against the world. Always, my friend. That's my destiny. I've always been that guy. Fucking any like even in fucking kindergarten, I was that guy. That little kid that always was saying the uncomfortable truths. Right? Must be something genetic because it's not it's not learned. Definitely, the whole world, my entire life, people try to untrain that. You know, yeah, the amounts of times I got into trouble for speaking the truth. It's fucking funny actually. Okay, never shit where you eat. Yeah, that's another way of putting it. Yeah, absolutely. What happens when you break up? What happens when you break up? I don't understand. What happens when you break up? I don't understand that question. Then I guess it's wise to view women as the enemy. Okay, I answered that already. 100%. Even if you never touched them, they could file a sexual harassment claim. Yeah. I love men who make my life easier. Obviously, who wouldn't? Exactly. If I was still in the West, I'd stay far away from women there. It's all downhill in those countries. Where are you? Where are you located? I Valence. Where are you? Where do you live? I'm sure it's Thailand or something like that. Where are the details about joining the inner circle of Grail of the Serpent? Hold on. I'll send you a link here. Grail of the Serpent inner circle. Okay. Just gotta click this link that I put in there, and then you'll be able to request access to that group. But Frank, there are good women still out there. Yeah, I know there are women out there, good women out there. Absolutely. I'm not saying that. I'm not hating on women. I'm just that this was a clean, unemotional war report, if you will. Okay. In war, when you're fighting a battle, there is a war report. Okay. So the general who is basically leading the army, he needs to know what's going on. He sends out people, they check out the environment. Nowadays it's probably satellites. Nowadays it's like whatever, spies or whatever, right? And they give them a report. Okay. Like as a president, you get a report because you run the armed forces, and they tell you exactly how it is. If they don't tell you exactly how it is, how are you going to have a chance of winning the war? You got to know the absolute truth. And when you analyze a battlefield, when you analyze the conditions, it has to be completely emotionless. Completely emotionless. These are the facts. Boom, 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 boom. And that's what I just did. It's not that I hate on anyone. I'm not hating on women or anyone. Okay, I have no hate in my heart at all, except for some people, but not for an entire gender. Are you crazy? Of course not. It doesn't even make sense. I'm just cleanly and clearly analyzing, completely emotionless, what's going on. Right now, I know I have a lot of passion in my voice, but I actually don't feel that much in regards to what I was saying. It's just it's something that you have to know and take into consideration, and that's what's up. So, um, so no hate on anyone. I know there are good women out there, but I also know at the same time what conditions we live in. See, are you going to keep all the videos on the channel still watchable? So when we have questions, I'm in the Philippines right now. It's nice here, polite people, and I plan on visiting Colombia soon. Cool, awesome. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even make sense to stay in America, does it? It doesn't even make sense to stay in Europe either. It doesn't make sense to stay in Europe, really. It doesn't, except for maybe traveling and stuff like that. But there's so many good places out there where you don't have to deal with all this bullshit. There's so many good places out there. Like I said, we discussed that yesterday or the day before that, right? Why don't you go to Thailand? You can live on 2 grand in Thailand, and you're gonna live well. You're gonna live well. Like I said, a friend of mine was there. He rented out a house, and he had staff there. He had cleaners. He had everything. Um, including food, including car, all of that stuff. It's 2 grand. You know. So I mean, I'm working with a for a new business. I hired a freelancer. He's an English guy who also um, who moved to Thailand, lived there. Listen, I pay him a couple hundred a month for the stuff that he has to do for me, and he probably has other gigs too. That guy lives like a king. He's got a wife there, um, and he's living well from what I could see. He's doing his job. He's doing his work online. He probably works like 3 4 hours a day or something like that. It's not that much. He doesn't look stressed. You know, 2,000 per month or per year per month. 2,000 per month. It's just still laughable, man. It's just still not a lot of money for real. So I still know people who want to move to New York City. Why would you move to New York City? Why would anybody do that to themselves? You're gonna age 5 years in 1 year. Seriously. Same with places like Los Angeles or something like that. I mean, wow. Which is actually kind of funny. Listen, there was this like last time I was in LA was in 2019, right? Before that was 2017. I spent most of my time in Hollywood, right? So there in Hollywood, there's this supplement shop, okay, right on Hollywood Boulevard. There's this supplement store. In 2017, I was there, and there was this stunning blonde there, right? She looked like she had a British accent, so I'm assuming that she's like that she's I know she's English because I asked her. Okay, so she had an English accent. She was stunning, stunning blonde, and she had come there because it was LA and she wanted to become an actress. Right. Fast forward 2019, so almost 2 years later, I enter the same supplement store. The same girl is still there, but check this. She had aged a minimum of like she looked 10 years older. I'm not even kidding. She looked 10 years older. Her hair was like breaking. Everything was, her skin was super like dry. Her energy was low. You could even, she had no like light in her eyes anymore. That city, I'm telling you, that city eats you alive. Literally. It's so bad. Like, who wants to go there? Who wants to move there? Like, for real? Are you serious? So, yeah, too bad, man. She was a dime piece, man. 2017, a dime piece, man. And I'm not saying that lightly, okay? I'm not saying that lightly because I look at flaws of women and I know what's fake and what's real. I know how much makeup, what makeup does to their faces and all that stuff, right? But she was a dime piece, and when you come back in 2019, 1.5 years later, a little bit more than that, not anymore. Like aged like 10 years, that's what she looked like. It's bad. I felt bad for her actually. Will there be openings for the unbounded mind in the future? Yeah, I will start teaching meditation again soon. Um, but it's probably not going to be called the unbounded mind. Let me come up with something. It's going to be a life coaching business where you're going to learn. I'm going to have a business coaching. I'm going to have a um, basically my take on relationships. I'm going to teach you how to create, like in the business area, I'm going to teach you how to create location independent businesses. Okay. So you don't have to do the stuff yourself. I'm going to teach you about what I've learned about relationships so far. And there's also a section where you can learn the mental techniques, the techniques to control your mind that I'm always talking about. Is like like you know, all the stuff that you use to control your subconscious mind. Also, there are techniques on how to learn faster, where we can consume information much faster, make use of it, such as photo reading and others, right? So all of those things you're going to be able to learn there. I'm also going to offer Reiki attunements, all of those things. Let me just come up with that. It's probably going to take me a little bit, but it's going to be a whole different. It's going to be a whole new website, whole different thing from the Grail of the Serpent. And meditation is also going to be one of the things that I'll offer there. So I'm going to teach meditation. Um, I would be average height in Thailand. Yeah, I would definitely be. Yeah, I'm 6'4", so yeah, I don't think I would be average height. But like I said, I'm not into Thai girls anyways. Even though, plus I would think a lot of Thai girl. No, that's not probably not true. But yeah, never mind. I'm not gonna say anything here. So she was a bad bitch. No, I felt bad for her. She felt like her energy was so dampened. You know what I mean? She was, and she had not become a movie star yet, unfortunately. But when I saw it in 2017, I was like, man, you need to be in a movie. Like, what are you doing here? You got to be in a movie. A fucking bombshell, or whatever you want to call that. That's what. That's what. Isn't that funny? These metaphors, like a bombshell. No, she was just a. She was beautiful, dime piece, beautiful, but not anymore, unfortunately. Um. So she was a bad bitch. Haha. I've lived in LA most my whole life and recently moved north, and it is very energy consuming. Yeah. $2,000 a month is a cheap shoebox in New York City, and you haven't had a glass of wine. Yeah. Greetings, magical family. Frank, why did you date her? Because I was there on a visit. Because I was there visiting. I was there for like in 2017. I was there for like 2 weeks, I think. So no, I didn't date. I did. I did talk to girls, and I had a couple of one night stands, but that's it. I didn't date a girl there. You know. Yeah. I have a book on photo reading. Amazing. Great. Nice. Yeah. 6 4. Photo reading is a legit thing. It's a legit thing. I use it every day, actually. Almost every day. Sometimes I read them slowly. You know. I mean, today I've been reading this book. It's, um, but not photo reading. I'm reading it slowly. But I photo read a lot, definitely. There's also something called direct learning, which is even better, or not better. It's like complementary. Uh, Frank, who do you ask for advice in your love life? I have a couple of friends who are very experienced when it comes to relationships, and yeah, so I got good friends that are like experts in that field, on top of what I know myself, of course. And you always have to make your own decisions. Okay, so it's basically you. When I ask for advice, it doesn't mean that I would necessarily do exactly what they say, because here's what's up. Everything that you do has to match your plans, if that makes sense. Okay, so when you should be careful if somebody gives a cookie cutter solution to everything, you know, or to let's okay. Let me give you an example. Let's say somebody asks me, "Hey, how do I create financial freedom, Frank?" And I give you a cookie cutter answer. That's not completely honest. Why? Because you should. There's an answer for every individual, if that makes sense. So what you really have to do is you have to do an individual assessment of the person's strengths, weaknesses, desires, goals, long-term goals, short-term goals, abilities, capital, time available. All of these things play a role. And then based on that, you recommend a specific niche, a specific business model, this and that and the other. Okay. So everything is very must be very customized in order to be really powerful. You see what I mean? And it's the same with relationship advice. So if you ask for advice from, let's say, a friend of yours, let's say your friend is a professional pickup artist, you don't. His approach to pickup works for him, you know, but your approach needs to be adjusted. For instance, like a lot of those guys, for instance, let's say Vince Kelvin. You know that guy on my channel, all right? We did an interview. He's a very good pickup artist. Okay, very good. However, his approach is different. He's first of all, he looks much less intimidating than me. Women respond very different to him because it's like the looks itself. If you're a physically imposing person like me, I weigh 240 pounds. Okay, I'm actually blowing up right now. I'm lifting weights. You have no idea how big I'm getting. Okay, and this is real muscle. You know how hard this is. These are hard fucking muscles. All right, and I'm not gonna stop. I'm just gonna keep getting bigger, more shredded. I'm gonna look like a monster, but I'm already intimidating to women. Okay, they don't see this pretty face at first. What they see is don't hurt me. You know, that's just what it is. That's how women feel when a physically imposing male comes up. All right. So for me, I don't have to look more alpha or more. This is what pickup artists would. This is what pickup artists would teach most guys. Okay, the cookie cutter answer is this: bro, you got to become more of a bad boy. You got to be like a little bit more dangerous. You got to be more confident. And then you just walk up to the girl and tell her, hey, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. Right. And then it's going to work. Well, the thing is, I have to like almost do the opposite. I got to look really non-threatening. I got to smile more. I got to be really upbeat so that she doesn't get scared. If a guy like me walks up to a girl and is like alpha, and like look more bad boy than he already is, listen, I can just stand somewhere and people get scared of me. I am a fucking bad boy. You can feel the vibe. I am a fucking bad boy. But I have to almost do the opposite. You see, so the advice of being more alpha and more that completely works against me when it comes to pickup. You see what I mean? So Vince is less threatening in his physical presence. So he can do all of this like playful stuff and blah blah blah. If I did that shit, that would be so weird. You see what I mean? Plus, he uses a lot of NLP and a lot of like funny things. Doesn't work for me. Doesn't work for me. I'm more like I'm more the cocky, funny guy, but also very friendly, not like not aggressive at all, and Um, so it's what I'm trying to say is essentially for every area of life, you need a customized solution, customized plan that is you for you. Yeah, you cannot use somebody else's method. So even if you have a coaching with a pickup coach, they're gonna tell you their ideas about the topic. And listen, physical presence absolutely matters. Looks absolutely matter. Okay? Don't lie to yourself. Absolutely your looks matter. The way you look matters. All of these things. Your height matters. All of these things matter. Absolutely. So you got to take all of that into account and you got to use the best strategy for you. I'm not talking about the occult, my frequency, okay? I'm not talking about occult topics anymore. I'm a life coach now. Yeah? Spread the word. You spoke about the mind deferring to the negative first because it requires little energy. What are the best practices to maintain high level of energy to maintain the positive gratitude vibe? Keep moving. That's the first thing. The more you move, the less you're going to be in a negative mood. Okay, as long as the energy keeps moving, the emotions don't. The energy doesn't get still. Okay, or stale, if you will. So movement is a good way to get your energy moving. Also, music. And the most important thing is don't hang out with negative people. Stay away from negative people as much as you can because that's the biggest liability. If you can only if the only thing that you do is manage not being around negative people, you've already done so much for yourself. Damn, Frank, you look good. You and Henry Cavill shape the same. Frank, I think people get scared because you have spirits around you, but you come across as sweethearted and trustworthy. Well, whatever. I don't know. Henry Cavill and me don't have them. Henry Cavill does not look like me. Absolutely not. He's got way more hair. Of course, we are visual beings. Got it. Frank, has any woman ever hurt you before by cheating on you or just leaving you out of nowhere? Yeah, of course. Yep. Um, Cheating. The only time I can 100% say that I was cheated on was when I was 18 years old. That I know for sure. Other than that, it might have happened, but I did not actually find out, if that makes sense. But when I was 18, I had a girlfriend that cheated on me. Yes. Henry plays Superman. You guys are built similar. All right. Yeah, I guess it's a compliment. Thanks. Thanks for the compliment. Yeah. But I got a lot of stuff to work on when it comes to my body, for sure. Got a lot of stuff to work on, especially my six pack. I need to get rid of some belly fat. So what I'm doing right now is I'm gonna be in a caloric deficit, but of like 300 calories per day. So I'm going to eat around 2,500 calories per day, a little bit more than that, say 2,700 calories, and I'm going to keep lifting heavy. That is gonna do the following. I'm going to keep building muscle, but because of the caloric deficit, I'm gonna the fat is gonna melt away. That's a many month process, okay? But in 6 months or so, I'm already gonna look completely different. And in a year from now, I'm gonna be a monster. And never don't even talk about 2 years, you know. So I'm gonna keep doing this for, let's say, the next 6 months, and then I'm gonna see where I'm at. So I'm gonna be in a caloric deficit, but I'm gonna keep lifting heavy. Of course, I do cardio too, and I'm gonna do boxing, fighting, boxing, stuff like that. But in terms of lifting weights and for terms of body recomposition and changing its shape, that's what I'm going to do. I have plenty of body fat. My body fat is like above 17% or so. And that's plenty of body fat. So I'm going to try to shred it down to like between 10 and 12% body fat while lifting heavy. And the less body fat you have, the bigger you look anyway. So I'm going to put on muscle and lose fat. So I'm going to be around, I would guess, around 220 pounds after I do this. And then we'll see. Maybe I'm going to bulk again. And in order to bulk, all you got to do is just up the calories a little bit. So I'm probably going to be bulking then again. I'm going to put on a little bit more body fat while building muscle. And then I'm going to do the same thing, just a caloric deficit and gradually reducing the body fat. And after that, I'm going to look like a monster for sure. Frank, have people ever asked you to model? Yes, I've been asked to model before. Frank, do you prefer girls who are skinny, thick, or with some weight on them to date? I don't like thick girls. I don't like skinny girls either. I like normal girls, man. Normal girls. Normal girls. I tell you, look, I'm going to show you some examples. I'm going to show you some examples. Um, quite a. I'm going to show you some examples. Good, nice bodies. Hold on. Let me show you a girl that I'm talking to. That's my. Where is she? This is my Telegram account. I don't know if you can see it. This is my Telegram account. Telegram is a social media. It's a messaging app. Okay. So I'm gonna show you girls that I've been talking to. Okay. So this here, this girl here. Where are they? Where are the photos? Who? Let me see. Where's it? Oh yeah, there you go. Her name is Natalie. Oops. I don't know if you can see that. She's So here are pictures that she sent me of her. So this like that. That's a nice shape. Hold on, let me see where you can see that. She's in good shape. She's in good shape. Uh, but I think her hips are a little bit too wide, as far as I can see. Okay. I'm not going to show you pictures of her pussy. All right. But this is what she sent me and more, but that's all I can show you here. Um, I think she looks good. Hold on, let me see if I can find some else. Are there more? I think that's a good example. She's a good looking girl. Um, yeah, like athletic. Yeah, like athletic. Frank likes nice tits, nice small bubble butt, long hair, beautiful. Yeah, I'm not into ugly. That's what I can tell you. I'm not into ugly. Does any of you guys? Does any of you guys like ugly women? How do you go about stealing dudes' chicks? You wanna know the real truth how that works? The real truth, man. The real truth, man. Just keep one on it. It's basically a certain vibe that you have to have, okay? And you gotta catch them in the right moments, okay? Every woman at one point is gonna be in a situation where she hates her guy. She hates, all right? Plus, see, the good thing is that most guys in a relationship turn into pussies. They turn into pussies. The problem is they think that by doing what she wants, she will like them more, but all they doing is she's losing respect for them, right? And for whatever reason, she's still with him. She didn't get herself to break up with him yet, or she's like, maybe she's with him for the money. Maybe for whatever reason, she's still with him, but she doesn't love him anymore. She doesn't want him anymore. And deep down, she's gonna enjoy cheating on him. So all you got to do is you got to have that vibe. Everything's energy in this world. You see what I mean? So if you carry that energy with you, where you want to help her take advantage of that guy, or you want to help her break the rules or something like that. That's how you get her. You have to understand that like there's a special what's the word? A special thrill in doing things that are forbidden. Okay, so or forbidden or basically, and women are just like us when it comes to that. Women are just like us. Okay, so you just got to carry that vibe, and when you got that vibe, you're gonna attract women like that. So when I go, look, today my vibe was completely business because I was completely focused on business. When I got a business vibe, I'm like here, I'm focused on my stuff. I wear shades. I'm like I got my headphone in it, like I'm on my phone, and then for the most part, I'm either in the office or I'm here and working. Okay, so that's the energy that I put out, and based on that, people are going to react to me, including women. Right now, if I had decided to make this day about pickup and picking up chicks, I would have had a completely different vibe. My what I wear in terms of clothes would be different. I would be like nonchalant. I would be like just a bad boy. I would listen to completely different music, some gangster rap or something like that that makes me feel like a G, you know? And then just talk to girls with that vibe. Just keep talking to girls with that vibe. And if you talk to enough girls, you're gonna find a girl that likes that. You see? That's it. Also, the biggest problem though, bro, the biggest thing, the biggest mistake that people make, in my opinion, or men make, you attach your own value to what she thinks about you, or you attach your value to her response. So if she likes you, you like yourself. If she doesn't like you, you start hating yourself. That is in itself wrong. You got to be okay with yourself before you talk to her. And even if she rejects you, you got to be okay with yourself. And that is the vibe. The essence of a vibe that gets women is essentially no matter what you do, I'm okay and I'm the prize. And when you got that vibe, when you got that level of confidence, you can get a lot of women because it is about confidence at the end of the day. Confidence trumps looks. If you're a good looking guy without confidence, you are a bitch, and she's going to see you as a bitch. Weak. She can enter, you might get a date, but she then feels your vibe, and she's gonna be repelled by that. Confident. Listen, what do you do if you're ugly? You just get confident as fuck. You know, there are many examples for that. There are so many guys that are successful with women that are ugly. Looks are not. I mean, looks help. Looks help. They do. But if you're a bitch, if you don't have confidence, if you have nothing else going on for you, looks don't really get you that far. You see what I mean? So the most important thing before getting in shape, before everything else, is confidence. Nothing trumps confidence. A confident guy who has nothing going on for himself is going to do better than a guy that has everything going on for himself but doesn't carry himself like he has all of that going on. You see what I mean? So you must, and this is inner work. You have to, your validate or your self value, your self estimation cannot come from women. Women have no bearing, zero bearing on your value as a person. That's where you have to get. You have to have an identity that goes way beyond that. No woman can touch that. If a woman rejects me, it doesn't really do that much to me. It doesn't feel good. I'm not saying that I'm like a completely like ice cold motherfucker that doesn't care, but it is not something that changes my opinion about myself. If she wants me, it doesn't change that my opinion either. You see, and that is the place where you have to get, where your life is literally about something so much more important than women that they're like, okay, whatever. You're Indiana Jones or James Bond. Imagine one of those guys. You're Indiana Jones. You're fucking Indiana Jones. Nobody, oh, the woman respect this insignificant little woman rejected you. So the fuck what? Who cares? You're Indiana Jones. You see what I mean? I'm Frank White, Aurelius Sopax. Okay, Frank White, Aurelius Sopax, the OG of sorcery, the Bronze Dawn. Okay, and I talked to a girl because I thought she was pretty. I wanted to enjoy her like a painting. She's like a painting, man. She's like, oh, she's beautiful. Wow. Okay. Hey, do you want to spend some time with me? And maybe something more happens. She's like a painting. And she said, no. And there will be a second where I'm like, for real? You don't want me? Okay. Okay. Not a problem. Okay. Have a nice day. Maybe you're in a bad mood. Boom. And I keep walking right to the next bitch, right in front of her. She's going to see me doing that. And you know what the funny thing is? She then actually gets a little bit jealous. That's the funny part. They actually get a little bit jealous. If you talk to the next girl right next to her, you know, you walk a couple of steps and then you talk to the next girl, she's gonna get a little bit jealous. Isn't that insane? And I think the reason is because she couldn't affect you. So this is the level of confidence that you have to develop. You're James Bond, you're Indiana Jones, you're Captain James T. Kirk, you gotta feel like you're the man. You gotta feel like you're the boss. All right. And that's it. And that's it. You're Tyler Durden from Fight Club, another great man, right? And if you genuinely, emotionally have accepted that identity, it just okay. She rejected me. Oh, too bad. Like, oh, wow, really? Okay, no problem. Boom, you walk up to the next one, and this is it. This is the vibe. Okay, takes work, but you can. The inner work takes years. Okay, it takes years to build up confidence like that because it is inner work. You have to work through trauma, like we discussed it before. You have to reprogram yourself to. You literally have to. You have to reprogram your emotional responses to the outside world. The normal person, the normal guy, will literally feel offended if a woman rejects him. He will feel offended. It's like, how dare you, bitch? Because he feels hurt. You see, he feels hurt. Oh, she's so mean. She's this and that. Or he will feel like, or his response is going to be like, "Oh man, maybe I'm no good," and whatever. Women don't like me anyway, so it's always been like that. You have to rewire yourself to the point where it's basically like, for real, she doesn't want me. How stupid! She's so dumb. Like, how does she not want me? But then you also can't be delusional, of course. You got to try to. There has to be substance behind it too, right? But if you can, the confidence is the most important thing. And if you got confidence, you're always going to do well. Confidence is very very attractive, right, girls? Why don't you let us know, ladies? Is confidence the most sexy trait in a man? Please tell us, ladies. Just type in yes. Is confidence the most sexy, the most attractive trait in a man? Okay, somebody says yes. A man got mad at me years ago or whatever. Okay, yes. Yes. No. Yeah, of course. Nisha says no. Nisha is a disagreeable person. It's crazy. I remember her for like from a year ago or so, on a live stream. She's just literally, she's got a problem for every solution. For real. She's got a problem for every solution. It's I always work hard to keep my audiences clean, man. It's but she got a problem for every solution. All right. Okay. What's this? Okay. Hi Frank. When does the coaching program start? Rather soon. Rather soon. Um, Definitely in the next couple months. I struggle. Hold on. What's this? How can I subscribe to the meditation program? It's not up yet. It's not up yet. Going to put it up. There's going to be a whole new website where you can sign up for those programs. Frank, don't you love good makeup, heels, full hair, and nice perfume? Who doesn't? Of course, full hair. Nice full hair. Like on a woman, absolutely yes. Absolutely. She didn't know who you were. No, you're Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. Men need to stop being desperate. Women have their own life. Yeah, I'm sure about that. Uh, oh, mm, look who requested access to my group. Quite a guy. Interesting. Is that you, Stu? I think it's you. Right? Okay, nice. Yeah, welcome to the group. Welcome. Okay. Um, okay, guys, come on. I usually do like 2.5 hours. We only did 1 hour and 40 minutes. Let's go. Frank, could you speak on personal magnetism and enhancing one's personal magnetism? The secret to charisma is you have to have a purpose. The bigger your purpose, the you have to understand that we live in a physical universe, but also in a mental universe, and everybody picks up on that. Everybody picks up on the thoughts that you think. because that generates a certain atmosphere. That's why certain people like each other right away, because they're on the same frequency in terms of thoughts, you see. So the secret to become charismatic is you have to have a massive purpose. You got to think about big things. I'm not talking about necessarily the I mean, when you let's say you're an astrophysicist, right? Astrophysicist thinks of big things in terms of, let's say, light years and galaxies and stars and all that stuff, right? That's good. That's better than thinking about what you're going to have for dinner, right? But I'm talking about something else. It has to be something that affects the world. You are an idea, my friend. Did you know that? You are the ideas that you carry with you. That's what you are. And you allow the ideas to express themselves through you in terms of energy. Does that make sense? So, what ideas do you entertain? And the more profound they are, the more they are focused on creating an effect in the world. Let's say a massive purpose that creates an effect in the world. That is going to give you charisma. So, you carrying the idea of changing the world through a certain technology, and you dedicated your life to finding those secrets, and you want to change the course of history of mankind doing that. You carry those thoughts, and then next to you there's a guy who thinks of, how am I going to get laid with this girl? He's going to look like a monkey next to you. She's going to be able to pick up she's going to be able to pick up that energy. You see what I mean? She's going to feel different about you. She's going to be like, whoa, this is interesting. Everybody has a sense of that. Okay, so what you need is, you need purpose. You need a big purpose. You need to identify with the correct ideas. That's what's going to give you charisma. That's what gives you power. Have you ever looked at a man's eyes that was completely and utterly willing to do anything for a certain idea, for a certain for something that he was convinced of? That guy was powerful. That's a powerful man. You look that guy in the eyes and you're like, okay, step aside. Because that guy's for real. You see what I mean? Frank, your teachings have been superb. Um, I appreciate the compliment. But that ain't new. Let's be honest, that ain't new. I've been always bringing the realest shit out there. Like, you can't even compare what I teach to what other occultists teach. Not that I listen too much to what other occultists teach, right? But let's be honest, man, you can't even compare the two. Like, the stuff that the value that I put out there, just like as if it was nothing. You see what I mean? As if it was nothing. It's like, here. It's like it's amazing, actually. I'm quite amazed by myself, oftentimes. Really quite amazed by myself. Like, where is this stuff coming from? How much do you know? How much wisdom do you accumulate in your short 38 years? Well, it's not that I only had one lifetime, you see, and I remember my past lives. I know exactly what I learned. I carry that over and I'm sharing it, you see. So actually, you're talking to a man that is many, many, many lifetimes old, accumulated probably hundreds of millions of years old, believe it or not. Okay. Um, I feel sorry for men who are still dating desperately in the West. They better get lotion and love dolls ready. It's going to get rougher there. Isn't that what the Japanese have been doing for a very long time? Isn't it like a big trend that the Japanese don't have sex anymore? It's like a sexless generation. That's what they call it. And like these love dolls and stuff like that, they're really much in demand. Which is interesting because Japanese girls are actually, like, a lot of Japanese girls are really cute. I feel personally. Well, I don't know. Uh, Now the evolution of being a life coach, going full Tony Robbins. What is the path you're going to take? That's not. It's not going to be Tony Robbins, man. That's good. It's gonna be Tony Robbins. That's funny. It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be Tony Robbins. But hey, I have nothing against Tony Robbins, but it's not what that guy does. You have been more real and honest than most of all those who professed great teachings. That is true. Yeah, I consider that a compliment. Thank you very much. Walking on hot coals. Okay, Frank, I have a joke. What did the toaster say to the slice of bread? What? What did he say? You're toast. That's good. That's good. It said, "I want you inside me." Hmm, I see. What do you get in return for sharing your pearls of wisdom free of charge? You get what you put out there. It doesn't necessarily have to come from this live stream. You see what I mean? It's just my daily dose of serving the universe and of saving the whole. You already know my philosophy, and I explained that many times. You have to be of value to your environment in order to feel good. If you only live for yourself, you will not be able to feel good because you're part of a greater system. And if you only take, it's not good. It's not balanced. So you have to help others as well. You have to pull others up. That's important energetically. Okay. So I've been I've been doing very well throughout the day, getting things. Everything's working well in my life, and now I'm just trying to help others and lift them up. And something good is going to come out of that. It has to, because I'm putting out good things. Good things have to come back. You see, that's probably a good definition of karma. My grandfather was a 33-degree Mason. I always feel that this affects my psychic abilities in many ways. Is it true or just wishful thinking? Bro, when you deal with most Freemasons, they have almost nothing to do with occultism and spirituality in terms of um, practical work with it. To them, it's a philosophical study of symbols. All right. And of course, those symbols can have an effect on the subconscious and stuff like that. But you will never really find a Mason unless he has like alternative education. Most Masons are not capable of practicing anything in terms of psychic abilities. You know, they don't even understand the mechanics of occultism. For them, it's a study of symbols. You know. All right. Saturday gender battles. It was Saturday night gender fights. Saturday night gender fights. Yes, they are coming next Saturday. Jeez, it's crazy how fast this week went by, isn't it? It's insane. Like I'm like, what the fuck's happening to my time? It's just zoom, another week, zoom, another week, zoom, another week. It's insane. So Saturday night, Anna won last time. Anna, are you on? Anna, are you here? Are you listening to us? Yep. Okay. Anna won last time. Okay. So you guys need to step it up, man. Okay, I have another one. What's the difference between kinky and perverted? Okay, what's the difference between kinky and perverted? Um, Kinky and perverted. Tell me, what is it? Tell us. Kinky is when you tickle your girlfriend with a feather. Perverted is when you use the whole bird. All right. We will win. The red storm is coming for you. Guys, I count on you, okay? I count on you. Don't embarrass us. Obviously, I can't participate, but I can't cheat either. Okay? I can't cheat. So if it wasn't just Anna. Anna had the best ones, that's true. But Matrix was also pretty good, man. She had a couple of bad ones. So um they got two strong players on their team, you know. And the others, of course, were good too. But what came from the male side was really like that was pathetic, guys. That was really pathetic. It's like women can't cook anymore or something like that, guys. That's you gotta really step it up, man. All men will bow down. What? All men will bow down. What is that? It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. It's a question of honor, guys. Okay. You gotta rip them to shreds. I mean, right, you gotta rip them to pieces next time. For real. Okay. So do we have more questions? Do we have more questions? Frank, if we win, all men have to do what we say for a week. What? What? No, I don't think so. My fellow men abandoned me last week. Step it up, guys. Don't let these women beat us. All right. See, this is another thing, guys. You need to stick together too. Okay, we're on the same team. Let's go. How's it going, bro? What's up, Jesse? What's up? Saturday night gender fights. Oh no, never. I'll go out fighting with grenades before I bow down to a woman. Soviet style, Soviet Union style. Why do you think there is a gender war going on nowadays? It's because there is an agenda by the elites for population control or population reduction. And when you keep the genders fighting, you can convince women that it is a good idea to stay single until they're 40 and that their man is not good enough and to leave him and to not have a big family. And that helps the agenda of reducing the population to like 1 billion. So from or half a billion actually. This is in publicly. I mean, it's public. I mean, it's very easy to come by information. You know, it's like by the Club of Rome and um, you know other organizations. The United Nations, they have a population control program. So that's it. That's one of the ways. Feminism is also like part of that, of course. Is there a possibility that genders can reconcile peacefully? Yeah, but not in current not in current America or Europe. That is impossible. Yeah. Western Europe and America are nope, nope. Look, I mean, the thing is, what we need for reconciliation is a reconnection um with the specializations that we've been built for. You see what I mean? So what I'm trying to say is essentially we were built and optimized for an environment that doesn't exist anymore. Okay, wilderness. Men are aggressive because we had to fight off animals, not because we would cause wars amongst each other. But wars were also necessary because a way to get resources was to fight with other tribes, and we did that so that the women could survive and have their babies. So the point is, we live in circumstances that blind people to the necessity of everything, to the necessities of why are women like this, why are men like this. There's nothing wrong with either one of them, but people are confusing it, and there's definitely an agenda to make the genders fight with each other. But I mean, I talked about that earlier. So it's basically population control. That's the end goal. Okay, women shouldn't have children anymore. That's the goal by the elites, and they do that by basically like pumping up their ego into the stratosphere so that they think no man is good enough. That's one of the ways of doing that. Okay, or career is more important than having children, which is like, think about it. How retarded is that? It's more important to work for a job that is completely meaningless and pays you like 50 grand a year, if that, and that's more important than giving birth to the next generation. You see, and women have bought into that. A lot of women have actually bought into that idea. They feel oppressed if they have to have children, which is the most sacred gift in the world. Nobody else can do that, and women now feel oppressed if they have to give birth. Isn't that funny? It's really That's why you have a declining population all over, not all over Europe, and the only regions in the world where you don't have a declining population, it's Africa and the Middle East, and that's because of a specific religion. It's because of Islam. That's why they are resisting a population decline. That's why they're resisting a depopulation agenda that has been introduced by the elites. That's the only reason. You see, the rest of the world is, like I said in the beginning, at the end of the century, there are going to be no more ethnic Germans because they're going to be outbred. There are going to be no more, and the same is happening right now in real time. No, where like you can see it everywhere. You know, you go to England, you go to France, you go to all of those countries, Sweden, and that's like I said in the beginning. So it's their own fault. It's their own fault adopting things like feminism, adopting things like all of this shit. And like I said earlier, women are much more easily manipulated because of their emotionality, right? You said it earlier. I talked about this all in the beginning, right? So it's not important. Here's what it is. You just got to make the right um, decision for you. And at the end of the day, I don't have children either, right? I don't have children either right now, but I will. I will have children. Don't worry. I will have children. I'm actually planning on many. I'm actually planning on like 12 kids. Um, it's scary how fast our testosterone is dropping as men. Dude, read the book, The Testosterone Hypothesis. Testosterone Hypothesis. Highly, highly, highly recommended. The Testosterone Hypothesis. Incredible book. Breaks it all down. Yes, I agree with you. Testosterone is dropping, and he really breaks it down. How, why, and what implications that has. Thankfully, my testosterone is very high, um, which explains a lot of things in my life. Actually, I would say I'm like at the there's a spectrum, right? There's a spectrum of testosterone levels, and I'm slightly above the normal range. I'm actually like, I think 1200 is like the There's a normal range. What is normal? It's like it starts at 300, I think, 296, and it goes up to 1200. Mine's like 1300 or something like that. So I'm definitely above average when it comes to my testosterone levels. I don't really know my free testosterone levels. I measured them in the past, like a saliva test, um, but that's like 2 years ago. 2 years ago. But yeah, my testosterone is really high. That's true. Georgia Guidestones. That's it, Stu. Exactly. Georgia Guidestones set out their plans. Yes, exactly. That's it. I mean, look. I mean, this is so easy to find out. This is so easy to find out. You know. So all of this shit is it's out in the public. Out in the public. Mm, 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 mm. Interesting. I recently heard Elon Musk say that we are underpopulated on Nelk's news podcast. But interesting, he's saying the opposite of the agenda. We're underpopulated for something that is sustainable for the current. If we want to maintain the current system, yes, for that we're underpopulated. Yes, but that's not the goal. Maintaining the current system is not the goal. You know. Besides that, Elon Musk said that recently, but the Club of Rome and the World Health Organization and the United Nations, they introduced the population decline agenda or population reduction agenda in the 1970s. Yeah, so it's been going on ever since then. This is like kind of like coincides with the rise of feminism too. I don't know if you know that, but yeah, these things are interconnected. Now, Elon Musk is talking about maintaining living standards as they are right now, maintaining things as they are, or basically making the economy expand, and all of those things. But that was never the plan. You see. Did you hear about Trump? They really want him in jail. I heard they raided his properties or something like that. Yeah. Us men might lose if we don't stick together this Saturday. You won't lose. Listen, you're doing it wrong, bro. You're doing it wrong. You already listen. You can't. The possibility of loss cannot be real for you. See, the girls here, they're all talking about we will win, we will win, we will win. They're way more confident. Where's the confidence, guys? Where's the confidence? Any comment that I heard here from the guys is, um, us men might lose. So you're putting out the possibility that the men are gonna lose. You're basically speaking it into existence. You see what I mean? You got to speak with 100% conviction that you will win, and the possibility of loss doesn't even exist. You see what I mean? The women are like, all men will bow down. Men will lose again. You wish. And the guys are like, okay, I Valence is the only real warrior here, man. He's the only guy that's keeping up the flag for us, for real. All the other guys are like, oh, the other guys let me down. We might actually lose. What's wrong with you guys? Is that it? You not wow. Is that it? Is that it? What would happen on a battlefield, I may ask? Let me ask. What would happen on a battlefield now? You guys, you probably couldn't even carry the sword, right? Could you carry the sword and the shield? Oh my God, an army of women. We might actually lose. How the fuck are you scared of a group of females? What's wrong with you, man? Listen, guys, you need to grow some fucking balls now. Now. Okay? You got time till Saturday. You fucking lay down the law. What's wrong with you? How's your girl gonna be like, yes, sir? And how are you going to spank her and she's going to say, thank you? Yes, give it to me, daddy. How she's going to say that to a guy that's like, oh, I might actually lose a verbal battle? Hmm? Is that what you want from your women? Listen, every girlfriend, every girlfriend that I've ever had was like that. It was like, come here, let me give you a spanking. She's like, yes, sir, thank you. And when there's an argument, that's really what she wanted. She would only start little arguments with me if she wanted me to be a little, you know, to lay down the law. You guys need to lay down the law. Okay, grow some fucking balls. What is this? It's sad. Listen, Saturday night gender fight. You guys better make me proud for real. Okay, because don't want to be embarrassed for my gender, guys. Like the women here are literally tougher than you guys. What is over here, man? Like, what is going on here? This is weird. Shape up, man, and stay hard. Exactly. Stay hard. Exactly. I valence. Yes, exactly. That's it. I valence is bringing the heat. What's the recipe for that spinach smoothie that boosts testosterone? Hey, good question. I actually had it earlier. Check this out. There are like today there were 5 eggs, 5 raw eggs, um, 1 scoop of protein powder, a little bit of coconut oil, spinach, and almond milk. You need more fat in your diet, guys. You need more fat and less sugar. You know, testosterone comes from cholesterol, and cholesterol comes from fat. So you need more fat in your diet, and you need less sugar because sugar kills testosterone. Okay, like if you want to increase your testosterone, if you want to double your testosterone within 2 weeks, just get on a ketogenic diet. It's going to increase your testosterone 100%. Probably going to double it. There are people that increase their testosterone by 300% just getting on a ketogenic diet. And then you also go to the gym and start lifting weights. You're gonna give it up. You're gonna give it another boost. You don't even have to lift weights. Lifting weights is good, but even if you just go for a run or something like that, or even just fucking move your ass, you're gonna increase your testosterone too. That's it. And then you stop watching porn and stop jerking off. You're gonna give it another testosterone boost. Okay. And before you know it, you're gonna be a man again. You're gonna be an actual real man again. Before you know it. And you're not gonna bow down to females anymore. Like what the fuck? Everybody is on our side. That's why we will win. Everybody's on us. What are you talking about? I gotta stay neutral though. I can't be like, oh, I'm a man, so you win. This is not fair. It doesn't work like that. We're the ones with the warrior DNA here. Hey Frank, how do you know if women have a way of finding out if a man has a lot of money? How would they find out if he doesn't make it obvious? First of all, I don't believe that you need money to get women. I really don't believe that. I really don't believe that. Unless you get a gold digger. But I think what she cares more about is your qualities to, there are certain qualities that allow you to make a lot of money, such as ambition, emotional resilience, and all of that stuff. I think that's what she's much more interested in. I don't think she's interested in the money per se. I think she's interested in money is a clue. If you are self-made, if you made a lot of money yourself, it means that you can't be stupid. So you have to have a little bit of intelligence, like a minimum of intelligence. You don't have to be a genius, but you have to be at least smart enough to make money, right? Plus, it's emotional resilience, ambition, all of that stuff. So money is a shortcut that tells you something about the person if it's self-made. Okay, so I think that's what women are looking for. When I was dead broke, I was getting women for sure. Listen, when I was in university, okay? When I was going to university, I was getting my degrees. I did not have I was poor. I actually had almost no money. All right. So there were months when I would live off of waffles. I think they were like 50 cents or €1, a pack of waffles and a chocolate bar that was also like 50 cents. So altogether it was like um, €1, so like $1, and a bottle of orange juice, which was another like 80 cents or something like that. So that was my food for 2 months or so. That's what I was surviving on for 2 months. Okay. And horrible diet, obviously, right? It's like pure carbs, pure sugar. But you know, that that was a certain amount of time in my life. And overall, I was like, uh, you know, so nobody helped me basically. So you tell me, is it hard to make that happen? Yes. I was so broke you can't even imagine. So, but I made it, right? I made it. So what do you think that takes? It takes emotional resilience. It takes focus. It takes like the ability to suffer, to keep going, to keep focused on your goals. So if somebody's self-made, you don't have to be a billionaire or anything like that, but you have like if you're financially successful, let's say if you're financially free, multiple, let's say seven-figure income, and you're self-made, then that shows something about you. So back to your question. I know you asked something else. If you're not showing that, how is she going to find out that you have money? It has to do with how you deal with certain situations. Here's the thing, man. A guy that's broke is going to look at the price of the food on a menu. Okay. If you don't do that, women will notice. If you just order and don't even ask about the price, a woman will notice that. I know for you, it's basically like you don't even give it a second thought. A woman will notice. Oh, he didn't even check the price. Plus, if you wear clothes, within a couple seconds, subconsciously, a woman will pick up on how much they cost. Okay, this here is a Boss shirt that's like it's not even expensive. I think it costs like $200 or something like that. It's like $200. But you can see that the fabric is different. The fabric is not, it doesn't look cheap. Okay, it looks like something. A woman will notice that. Boom. A woman will definitely pick up on it. So it's subtle signs. Like it's like just like a manicure. Okay, my hands are always manicured. I try to keep my. Sometimes I'm not always keeping my beard trimmed and all that stuff, right? But I try to keep it like that. Okay. So women notice the difference. Your shoes are super important. Your shoes. Women look at the following things. They look at, first of all, height, hands, shoes, and then the face. Okay. We look at the face, the tits, the ass, and all that stuff, right? Women look at your height, then they look at your shoulders. Are the shoulders broad? And they check out your hands, believe it or not. I know men don't look at hands. We don't care about hands for the most part. Women put all of this effort into their nails. Let me give you a wake up call, girls. Let me give you a wake up call, girls. Men don't give a fuck about your nails. Zero. Zero. There's never a guy in my life. I never heard a guy in my life be like, "Wow, she had nice nails. So sexy." I never heard that in my fucking life, ever. Okay? But women will be like, "Wow, his hands were sexy." sexy hands. You get what I mean? I'm not completely sure about the reason. I just know that's what they look at. Okay, so you as guys, if you wanna make a better impression on women, first of all, you got to be well groomed, which includes you get your manicure. Okay, you get your hands cleaned because women will notice. You wear clean shoes, and the shoes should not be the shoes of a little boy. They should be the shoes of a man. Okay, so leather, loafers, something that looks good. Shoes are very important. You don't wear flashy clothes, but you wear high quality clothes. Okay, and when it comes to people that actually have money, there's almost like an understatement because you don't want everybody to know that you have money. Okay, people that don't have money that want to look rich, they are over the top. Okay, they like gold chains and all this shit, right? But people that actually are well off, it's almost like an understatement. It's nice quality, it's high quality, but it's not like in your face. The worst thing is like wearing like something with a even I don't know, man. Yeah, I guess that's it. Okay, high quality clothes, but like durable. That's what you need. Okay, so keep yourself. Yeah, logos. No logos. You don't need logos. And if there are logos, make them subtle, very small, not big like this Gucci all over the fucking place. That looks trashy. Looks trashy. Yeah. There's an actual code. There's an actual code to any circle. Okay, so people know each other based on those subtle cues. Okay, if you want to deal with people at a certain level, you have to know how you become one of them, how you blend with them. Okay, there's a dress code in every layer of society. Okay, you know, so so a woman will notice. It's the subtle things. It's the subtle things, subtle cues that give it away. You know, it basically boils down to this. You see what I mean? If you have time and resources to take care of yourself very well, that is a clue for her. Okay, there's probably more. You don't have to make it obvious. They will Women are always screening you all the time, and they test you all the time. There's not one communication that you're gonna have with them without it being a test, or there's not one conversation with them, not communications, sure, but there's not one conversation that you're gonna have with them without being screened and tested and subconsciously evaluated. So the easiest way is to actually be the man. You've got to be the man, and then everything's fine. You don't have to worry about anything. I went keto 3 days ago because the last time I did keto, I lost over 40 pounds in 3 months. Nice. Your one victory means nothing. We will catch you and dismantle your whole ego. You women are getting devoured this Saturday to start counting. So start counting your luck. Yes, I balance. That's the spirit. I'm creating my victory speech now, Frank. But you have good looks though. And now what? I'm a one man army then, Leningrad warrior. It's about a caliber of man. Don't give a fuck about money. Yeah. I'm thinking, would I be comfortable with a woman that has more money than me? Would I be comfortable with a woman that has more money than me? Would I be comfortable with a woman that is at the same level or the bottom level? Yeah, I think so. I'd actually prefer that. I think. I don't know. Never been in that situation. But yeah, it's okay for me. It's okay, I guess. The beard has definitely improved. That's a low key insult. Yeah. I mean, I care about the money you got. At least I have something we have to take. We have to take me out to dinner. Okay. I notice bad nails. It's a turn off, and it screams bad hygiene. Yeah. All right. Right. Okay. Laugh out loud. Very true about the nails. My woman spends $200 a week for nails. I truly don't give a shit about it. Yes. No, Frank, don't do it unless she's a princess. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, but it's funny, man. It's really interesting. It's like how little women actually know about men and what men find attractive. It's really like dumb. It's mind blowing, right? Women literally think that men are going to care about their nails. Not at all. Not at all. You know. Also, what I actually believe with a lot of women, they're much less clean than we give them credit for. So all of this nail polish that they put on is actually a good way of hiding the dirt behind under their nails, especially if they have longer nails. It picks up more dirt. You know. So trust me, not all women are clean at all. Even though women have a like a reputation for being cleaner, it's not true. It's not true. Listen, ask around, ask around, ask any woman that you know, what do their public bathrooms look like? You think male or men's public bathrooms look bad? You will not find the stuff that you find in a female public bathroom, according to the stories. Obviously, I've never been there in person, but if half of the shit that I heard is true, women are nasty, bro. Women are nasty as fuck. So, is that true, ladies? Public female public bathrooms, public restrooms. I mean, all right. Women bathroom is disgusting. Yes. Way worse. One time I used the men's because that's how bad it got. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Okay, guys. So, we did 2.5 hours, almost. I still believe in men and women love and understanding of each other. It's good for you. I wish you all the best, Neo Twinkles. Um, okay. Man, do I really want to end this live stream on this disgusting note here? Unisex bathrooms are the nastiest. Man, that's like, okay. I don't want to end. I don't want to end it on this topic. Okay, let's talk about something um, refreshing. Something refreshing. So, first of all, I gotta ask: do you want me to do another live stream tomorrow? That I need 10 yeses. Okay. So go. Type in yes if you want me to do another live stream tomorrow. Okay. I need 10 yeses. That's the first question. The women will win. Okay, yes, yes. Uh-huh. Okay. 4 yeses. I need 10. I need 10, guys. I need 10. 2, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Men's bathrooms will get worse with all the men wearing heels nowadays. Okay, we got 9 yeses. So should I do another live stream tomorrow? If so, I need a yes. I need to see a yes. One more. Need one more yes, guys. Okay, yes. All right, guys. Cool. So I'm gonna take one more question. Okay. So type in your questions. I'm gonna answer one more questions to get this weird topic of public bathrooms out of this live stream, and then I'm gonna end it. Okay. So one more question. Let's go. Okay.
This man made my entire week.
Go to the KFC now. Let's end with a threat. You boys are going down. Women are going to have their heads broken, their heels broken this Saturday. That devastating loss that's coming. Sure, buddy. It's okay, we brought backups. If I say yes again, that counts. No, you can only say it once. But we already got 10. Call whoever you like. It's futile. You're not winning this one. How do I scrape the internet for targeted email addresses for email marketing? Do solo ads. Okay, there are brokers out there. Type into Google. Type in solo ads broker. Okay, and then the industry that you want to market to, solo ads broker, and your sector, and then you will find people where you can do solo ads, which is essentially you can buy the list for one email, rather, or let me put it like this: you pay them a fee, and you can message their list one email, and then the people that subscribe to your email list are now on your list. Okay, a good conversion rate is, I don't know, you should aim for like 10%. But that 10% is high. It's usually more like 5. All right, legit question. Can Belial be summoned for money magic as well? Bro, I said it many times, okay? I don't know if it takes how long it takes to tell people this, okay? But I'm not talking about witchcraft anymore. I'm not talking about magic. Don't ask me about spirits. Don't ask me about evocations or any of that shit. I'm a life coach now, motherfucker. I'm a life coach. All right? A life coach with amazing shoulders. No, bro, I'm like exploding. It's crazy. I've been lifting weights for like 2 weeks, not no, like more like 3 weeks seriously, like with consistency and good diet and all that stuff. And now I'm exploding. It's insane. I'm getting big so fast. We'll see how big I get. All right. Okay, boxer panties. See you oppressed ladies later. I'll help you guys by bringing the Viagra so you guys can keep up. You're already starting? That was a good one, man. That was a good one. She's bringing in the Viagra so you guys can keep up. Man, that was a good one. You're already starting. Hey, ask a question, guys, okay? See ya, soy boys. See you, lonely fans, girls. Man, iBalance is really keeping up the flag for us. It's good. TV's a good one. See ya, panty sniffing Sims. Thank you for the tip. Yeah, sure. Come on. Frank, have you ever cheated on a girl, or was you always honest, if you don't mind me asking? I never lied. But there's a difference between, like, I don't have to rub it in her face. Like, hey, listen, yesterday I fucked this girl. I had sex with this girl yesterday. No. And listen, see soon to be woman cat owners in a house with no man. That was painful, bro. I mean, that's a good one, but that hurt. I hurt for the women right now because that's actually real, bro. That's actually for real. But most of them become dog owners, don't they? They become like dog owners all by themselves. That's painful. Um, remember your tampons, ladies. Saturday is going to be bloody. Oh. There you go. All right. Men are still alive. Good. That's good. Another good one. Yes, most of my clients are single women with dogs instead of children. Yeah. At least our G spot is not in our butthole. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. Told you, Frank, the red spirit is still strong and notable and noble. Gotcha. Okay, brother. Okay, brother. Let's do it. Too bad I can't participate in this shit. But I can't. I'm the judge. I'm the referee. I'm the referee. I mean, obviously, if one of the girls here is hot and she she wants to um, push the referee in one or the other direction, I'm sure there are certain ways that you can do for me to make that happen. Get what I mean? They also call it take one for the team. Because that's what men do, right? We abuse our positions of power. Isn't that the case? So, in my evil plan, I created a hypothetical scenario of power where I can now exploit you sexually. All I say is basically, how badly do you want? How bad do you want it, girl? How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Do you want it 8 inch inside of your mouth bad? 8 inches in your mouth bad? Do you want that? Earth is crowded, go home. I'm obviously too agreeable for this. That's only in beta guys' butts, not real men. Yeah, yeah. I've been called worse by better men, so I'm not hurt. One more question, guys. Go on. I'm sure you got another question. Okay, let me look up jokes for um, for a beginner. Which is better, calisthenics or weights? Uh, I don't know if that has to do with beginner or advanced. They have different purposes. Weights are basically they help you build muscles. You can build muscles using doing calisthenics, but you're gonna have to do more repetitions. I would combine both of that. You know, what I mean? I would combine a calisthenics workout and also weights. Rather, one day you do calisthenics, and then 3 days you do weights or something like that. Because calisthenics is good for the internal muscles, you know, for the core muscles. Most people don't have core strength, you know. And calisthenics definitely helps with that. Okay, let me see. Gender jokes. We'll come back alive and send you all out to make more babies. Question: is Google more male or female? What do you think? Is Google male or female? Female, because it doesn't let you finish a sentence before making a suggestion. What did one saggy boob say to the other saggy boob? We better get some support before somebody thinks we're nuts. All right. Ooh, eye balance. Okay, women have the personality of a corpse, trying to entertain a man with nothing other than her body. That's a good one. That's a really good one. PMS jokes are not funny. Period. Scientists have discovered a food that diminishes a woman's sex drive by 90%. It's called a wedding cake. How many men does it take to open a beer? None. It should be opened by the time she brings it. Men have two emotions, hungry and horny. If you see him without an erection, go make him a sandwich. Very good. This is fucked up, man. Uh, oh, man. Okay. Why do men die before their wives? Because they want to. Uh, Men be like, at least I don't sell my body. Then they join the military. Like, oh, that's a good one. That's bad. There's some truth to that. Anna's really talented at this stuff. Not bad, not bad. I'm impressed. It's good stuff. That's deep. Yes, they say they're strong. You kick them on the balls and they start crying like a bitch. All right. Women be like, "Oh, I'm a queen, but becomes a prostitute." Hashtag dumb 304. All right. Well, guys, let's come back to the questions. Really solid questions. Okay, something serious or something that can actually create a good answer for. Sir, a host's foot makes more than you. When your child prefer when your child prefers to suckle one boob over the other, few years later, one boob still a water balloon, the other is a sock. Oh, woo! Oh, that's a bad one. Oh my god. The question is, when are men going to take accountability for paying for hoes? Ma'am, a man's career has more value than your whole non-virgin body. Men will say they go to the gun range every day and it's Call of Duty. Fuck. Yeah. Women say they're good at dating, but end up getting dumped by some guy named Tyrone and try to find him for child support. Yeah. Men be like, women are emotional and then punch a hole in the wall when their favorite sports team loses. Women be like, you're immature, but still act like they're in kindergarten. No, guys, listen, guys. Gender fight is for Saturday night. Okay, keep your jokes. Okay, keep your jokes. You're warming up. I get it. I get it. I get it. But it's enough for now. It's enough. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. So no, let's talk about something else, man. Or I guess maybe there are no good questions right now. Okay, that's fine too. Okay, so I guess I got plenty more ammo, but women then used all theirs. Okay, stop it, guys. Okay, I finally thought of one. I'll save it for Saturday. Guys, good. Stop it. Saturday night fight night. I mean, fuck. Saturday night gender fight is going to become a new tradition. Okay, so you can spend the entire week hating on the other gender, coming up with things, and then you're going to have a therapeutic session of spilling your hate for the other sex on Saturday here on this live stream. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up now. I hope you got something out of this. Okay, stay clean. Stay clean. Stay sexy. Stay working. Stay ambitious. All the things that you hopefully already are. If not, you got to step up your game. Okay. If any hot chicks are on here, I'm always open to private classes. All right. You could definitely book me for special sessions and one-on-ones. Absolutely. Even in person. Okay. You can fly me out. Maybe if you're hot enough, I'll fly you out. We'll see. Okay. Just so you know. So in this way, um, I'm looking for fun, I guess. Never mind. But try it out. If you're a hot chick, you can go. I don't see your faces, so who knows? Okay. We need Frank on our team, so send hot friends. Definitely. Yeah. I like to abuse my position of power. Always do that. As a man, right? As you do it. Okay, guys, I'll talk to you I guess tomorrow, right? Do another live stream tomorrow. Okay, peace. See you there. Peace.